We are live.
Hello, and welcome to Soiree Lifestyle Series 2020. Welcome to our nighttime edition. I am Rosemary Skinner, and this evening we are doing our 30th episode. Welcome to Soiree Lifestyle Series group. Thank you for joining our group and growing our community. Please say hello to us in the comments and let us know that you're here. Also, please use the comment section for questions you have for our guest speaker. The purpose of our group is to share valuable information in featured weekly segments with professionals in their respective fields around lifestyles, relationships, and entertaining. I With me this evening are my co-hosts, Crystal Cotto Sullivan, who is a connector coach counselor, and John Sullivan and John Sullivan Counseling. Our guest speaker tonight is going to be talking to us all about our guest speaker. Sorry, I'm just going our group is to share valuable information in featured weekly segments. Sorry, just getting a little bit of feedback. Relationships and entertaining. I With me this evening are my co-hosts, Crystal Cotto Sullivan. Sorry, are you guys connected coach counselor? Are we getting feedback?
Yeah, you need to shut your
The
browser.
Okay, sorry guys, just be 1 second. Be talking to us all about sorry, sorry, just get a little bit of feedback. Can somebody just help me out here for a sec?
So Rosemary, just reduce Zoom, reduce everything, and then when you see Chrome, shut it down.
Okay, sorry guys, we'll just be back in 1 second. Okay, is that working?
We'll know in about 10 seconds if we get more feedback.
With these changes with Facebook, with the new format, it's got a couple options for live. So anyways, would just be a second here. Just want to make sure that we are live.
We're live.
Okay.
Yeah, we're live. We're good.
Okay, we're live and we're back. My apologies. Little technical issues with Facebook. Anyways, this evening, thank you for joining us. We are going to be talking about holiday cocktails. With us, our returning guest speaker, all the way live from New York, the one and only Matthew Kourie, founder of the New York Cocktail Expo. Welcome, Matt. We are so excited to have you back.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, everybody.
So Matt is the founder of the New York Premier Cocktail Festival. The New York Cocktail Expo Matt is a cocktail enthusiast turned home bartender turned bartender turned cocktail recipe developer who had turned his one-bedroom Queens apartment into a speakeasy, a true cocktail enthusiast, and also the industry voice of wellness cocktails. Kourie has been organizing successful events in hospitality since 2013. The New York native has brought together over 50,000 individuals since that time through his New York Best Wings Festival, with restaurants and bars generating new and return business and expanded market reach for participants of each event with their customer base. With his writing contributions in food and drink for Huffington Post, Kourie has scouted for top cocktail bars and recruited bartending talent for cocktail competitions, never forgetting what it feels like to be on the guest side of the bar, and the idea that how you make someone feel is the most important thing about service is paramount in Kourie's focus. The event organizer takes pride in continuous education on spirits, wellness, the craft of mixing drinks. His personal journey is directly showcased in the New York Cocktail Expo and the the NYCE Bar Education Webinar Experience. Kourie is pioneering wellness cocktails education, the focus of hospitality, and its all-encompassing importance for the longevity of craft cocktail culture and its relationship with its guests, as well as bringing people together to grow and learn as a community. Welcome, Matthew. Wow, that was a mouthful.
Thank you.
Obviously are very experienced in your field and very educated. And so we are so thrilled to have you back. And I know you're going to do some cocktails for us tonight. You're going to show us a couple of recipes. So we're going to turn it over to you. And thank you for joining us. And thank you to our viewers as well.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for having me back. You know, sometimes it's okay to say, hey, I need a drink or two. Yeah, sometimes it's okay, especially during the holidays, and what a unique holiday season it is right now. So I'm happy to make some drinks and talk about the holiday cocktails because it's such a fun topic. And, you know, I'm a cocktail enthusiast, right? So cheers. So yeah, so thanks for having me back. What do you want to dig into here? We can do holiday cocktails. We can talk about what's going on. I've got bourbon, I've got rum, I've got cinnamon sticks. It smells like cloves in here. So I might not have a Santa Claus hat on, but I've got the beard. It's not fully gray yet. We're getting there. Oh my gosh.
We're just gonna just let you take it away and tell us about you know, incorporating cocktails during the holidays and some of what you recommend for recipes. And
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because people aren't getting together in the same way, or we're thinking,
right.
some people are saying, oh, we're getting together, you know, and other people are saying, oh, we're not getting together. But in some way, you want to feel connected and enjoy the spirit of the holiday, pun intended, right? And so something interesting that we've done at New York Cocktail Expo for a long time is a welcome cocktail for our guests. And to have sort of a family recipe, like a one cocktail everyone's going to drink, is such a cool way to sort of have a cheers at 9 p.m. or when someone's speaking, or get on Zoom and connect your tables and the family can be sitting and everyone can be looking. Everyone's got these giant HD screens now, boy, oh boy. To have a welcome cocktail and to pick a recipes. Could be something simple, could be something fun. So I have a couple things to sort of demonstrate something like that. But you know, when people think of holiday cocktails, they're typically thinking eggnog, right? When you think of holiday cocktails, what comes to your mind?
Eggnog and rum.
Yeah, eggnog.
Eggnog, rum, right? So
Hot toddy, but that's if I have a cold.
yeah, but you know what? It's so appropriate right now. Everyone's trying to stay well, so a little whiskey will do you. That's okay. So yeah, so a really fun drink, you know, to make. If you want to get into the holiday spirit and get into baking and spices, is a hot buttered rum. So we're gonna showcase that. But I do want to start off with the hot toddy because I think everyone should know how to make this drink. It's sort of like a hot whiskey sour. It's almost like a tea. You've got whiskey, you've got lemon, some recipes with demerara, sugar. This is going to be with honey and some boiling water. So both drinks actually take hot water. So I thought maybe I could run to my stove here in my Queen's Speakeasy hideaway bar apartment, turn on the hot water, and maybe you guys can do a little segue.
Okay, that sounds good. We're looking forward to those drinks, and we'll just give a toast to you, Matt, as you
Okay, as you scoot over. Cool. Okay, so I'm just going to let you know that next week we actually are having a Wednesday live show rather than Thursday. We will replay on Thursday, but we are so excited to have Joanne Mutter from Jojo Coco coming with a sommelier to do chocolate and wine pairing. I think it's going to be really exciting. I discovered Joanne and her shop in the summer and was just overwhelmed. She's actually in Ottawa, and the walls were covered in craft chocolate. So we think about craft beer, we think about craft whiskey. This is craft chocolate, and she's going to come on and talk about all of the different types of chocolate. She's actually a chocolatier herself and knows her chocolate. So next Wednesday at 1 o'clock, that's November 25th for episode 31. So see you there. And let's see, is Matt coming in with that hot water?
not just yet, but and Crystal, he's coming back. Okay, we'll go back.
Water, I just turned on the flame, you guys. That water's going to heat.
Okay. Okay, great. So Matt, you'll be interested in our show next week because we're having a chocolatier come on and pair chocolate and wine. But I think chocolate and whiskey or chocolate and spirits would be great. Hey.
I love chocolate and spirits. I love dark chocolate.
Oh,
having
yeah.
it with rum and different. That's fantastic. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sold. I'm in.
Okay, great. great. I think it's going to be a really great show. So, and she actually, many of the chocolate bars, they're bars, they're beautiful bars. And not only is the chocolate delicious, but the wrappers are works of art. We actually, as a team, are going to sample one of the tasting boxes on Monday. So we'll be able to come into the show with a little bit of experience. And she has little cards so that you can actually talk about the different tastes in the chocolate. And like wine, depends again on the terroir. It depends on where the chocolate, the cocoa beans, the cacao beans are grown. It's amazing. I was blown away. I thought, I don't know a lot about chocolate. I didn't know a lot about chocolate. And I thought it would be a really great program to educate people on chocolate, just as we've learned about olives, we've learned about wine, we've learned about all kinds of things. So I think it will be great. Plus we get to eat chocolate.
Yeah, and it's all part of our holiday, it's all part of our holiday planning, right? Because we all know we're gonna have to do holidays differently. And I like what Matt had said too about doing like a Zoom together, like a Zoom as a family and cheering together. Maybe as dessert could be a chocolate tasting to go with some
That's right.
wine or or a nice cocktail.
Well, I think what would be interesting for the holidays is that to plan a Zoom party where people buy the same wine or people buy the same chocolate or they get the curated chocolate box, and then everyone's on Zoom and they're comparing and talking about the chocolate, or they're talking about the wine, or doing whatever. And I think Zoom really offers some great opportunities. We're not, touching face to face, but we could have some pretty good tasting parties online, I think.
And creating that experience, like it's a new experience, creating that experience and still being connected on virtually, but at least we get to see each other. And here is our Matt.
Well, and what I'm thinking is, for my Zoom parties, I want a backdrop that is like, Hawaii or something like that, so I can get it on Amazon. They have them. So I'm going to just change my whole atmosphere here. Instead of this dull gray thing, I'll be somewhere exotic while we're doing some type of a tasting party.
The thing that surprised me about the chocolate, or the chocolate, is that it's different. Like you said, wine or olives, depends on where they grow. That different taste. I had no idea, because you had some that tasted like honey.
I went into the store and I said, well, we just want a nice bar of chocolate to have with our coffee this evening. And so she kind of zeroed in, and so she gave me a bar, and it had it said figs and rose petals. And I thought, oh, there must be figs and rose petals. She said, no, you have a hint of the taste because of where it's grown and because of the weather. It's pure chocolate, pure chocolate, but it has a different taste, just like wine might have a citrus taste, or it might have, a musky taste, or it has a fresh, or the olive oil has a grassy taste. It's the same with the chocolate. I had no idea. I mean, I'm just not used to such fine chocolate. So it was amazing to realize that, okay, nobody added the figs and the rose petals. It's actually from where it's grown. So and each bar kind of has a history of, where the cacao beans come from, when they've been picked, how they've roasted them, and then also the date that it's been wrapped. It's pretty amazing in terms of what they're doing.
So Matt is back.
Great.
Yeah.
So Matt, what are you doing for the holidays to celebrate?
Yeah, you know what? I am going to be getting together with some family. Definitely. I think that we're going to still get together. I know I've got a few brothers. We're like the Marx brothers. We've got 3 brothers, so a couple of them will be here or there. I'm going to be with my lovely girlfriend and her amazing son, Benny. I think that we're going to visit my folks and maybe have some holiday cocktails and chestnuts and things like that.
Oh, great.
Might sing a few songs, who knows? Maybe a couple of, I don't know. I'm putting that out.
Depending on how much you had to drink.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because what we're talking about is, rather than having the big Christmas dinner, because we're not going to have so many people, is to just meet with different parts of our family and have appetizers and drinks.
That's a good idea too, right?
Yeah. So, one brother and his family will come because we live with my mom lives with us. And so we'll have a little gathering with them with social distance, and then another day with my other brother. But rather than the big turkey dinner and everything, which, is because everybody's packed at the table, we just have appetizers and drinks and just have a little bit of a different celebration. It will be different for sure.
Yes.
So I also, it was interesting. I was listening to the news today and they were talking about even changing habits of shopping this year, that they're predicting that people aren't purchasing as much stuff, like as many gifts this year as we usually go.
Really?
Overboard. Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Well,
I don't know.
What? On the note of buying things, let's make that hot toddy.
Okay, great.
Bubble's going.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Well, Matt is just going to grab that hot water. I'm just going to mention, we posted it on the site as well. Matt does offer, which he'll talk about more later on in the show, but he does offer webinars, that he does cocktail webinars. He's also recommended a holiday book for cocktails. And we'll also have Matt's website if you want to get in touch with him. And the recipe for one of these cocktails, for the buttered rum. Which one are you doing right now, Matt?
So I want to start off with something easy to not intimidate everybody,
Okay.
right? The drink everyone should know, the hot toddy. As you said, we're trying to stay healthy, okay? And it's delicious and easy to make, okay? The drink is comprised of a sweetener. This time I'm using honey. You want to use a nice organic honey, something with flavor. Different types of honey out there you can use. Some fresh lemon juice, about a 1/4 ounce, about a 1/2 ounce of the honey. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do 2 ounces of bourbon in the glass. Okay, here I'm using Iron Smoke bourbon. It's a nice full bourbon, a little bit of a smoky edge to it. And I love a little bourbon on the holidays. Okay, right in the glass. And we're going to go ahead and add the hot water and simply give a stir here. So we'll go ahead and just want to fill up. Okay. Now you can see that the honey is melted. You guys can get a nice view of the cocktail.
Oh, I can taste it from here. It looks good.
Smoking. I'm smelling the bourbon, the lemon.
Yummy.
The honey is giving it a nice silky texture.
So when do I drink a hot toddy? When I come home and in the morning, night, afternoon, when do I drink it?
Guys, you got to get this. So what we have here, so I've pre-made the garnish with a little bit of some toasted whole cloves.
Oh.
And we fitted them into a cut lemon wheel, which you can pre-make. You can pre-slice these, have your glasses ready to go. So you see how simple it was for me to put that together?
Yeah, very nice.
Drink, for yourself at home or to make for others. Yeah.
Very nice.
So Matt, tell me, what do you mean by toasted cloves?
So I went ahead and put in a saute pan and I went ahead and toasted the cloves a little bit just till they cracked a bit.
Oh.
Until I can start to get the aroma in the air. Just a couple minutes.
Oh.
So yeah, whole cloves in the saute pan. Same thing, you're toasting cinnamon and doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now,
And then you got them stuck in the lemon there. Is that right?
you got the lemon. Now, if you want to go a little more classy, you still have to get the right kind of stick here. They're a bit short. You can go ahead and do a cinnamon stick as well. Now, what I like to do, if you are going to be more of spending your time doing some things, you can actually smoke your glass with the cinnamon stick.
Oh.
So you kind of want to get a torch for this. I'm doing a little bit of this is going to take a little more time here. But if you can get like a creme brulee torch,
Yeah.
or another like a barbecue lighter that's going to give you kind of a torch, you'll get less time me just holding something in front of you and burning. But man, does it smell like the holidays right now, because that cinnamon, the toasted cinnamon, there it goes. It's starting to smoke through my hands.
Yeah.
Right? You want to get it to smoke. Now, once again, if you use a torch, you're going to get it much more brazen smoldering here. Okay, but that's the idea. and you go ahead and you just set your glass like that.
Oh,
Okay.
oh my goodness. How cool is that?
So what that's doing is that's just giving a nice kind of cinnamony environment and a rinse sort of to the glass. So do that for a bit.
Wow.
Leave that right there so I can still smell the holidays while we're talking. And there's a little bit of a hot toddy for you.
Very nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, this is fun stuff. I know hot toddy's like, okay, Matt, we all know the hot toddy. That's fine. But I still think like the old fashioned last time, this is a drink you should know how to make. But something really simple to do just to make things festive. Like, again, if you don't feel like going crazy, is get some festive glassware. You know, if you get even just this, there's so much out there. There's a beautiful glass for a punch. You know, once again, you could have any kind of holiday, even if you want to do your nog, or you could do any kind of nice cocktail in here, and it's got cranberries and like mints and peppermints and stuff. And, you know, immediately, boy, let me do maybe some coffee. I'll shake that with a cinnamon syrup, do, you know, bourbon in there as well. And that's a beautiful holiday cocktail. You can find a lot of cool mugs, Santa Claus mugs, and, you know, reindeer and whatever your fancy is, and make some holiday tiki drinks, you know, with walnut milk and cinnamon and all this other stuff. So some fun ideas that you can easily get the holiday spirit going with some fun glassware and mugs and your drink.
That's a great idea, Matt. And what next drink you're going to prepare for us?
Like, come on now, where's the drinks? Yes. Okay. So yes, the piece de la resistance. I've said that right or left, whatever. Okay.
I think you did.
So guys, I'm going with a simple, nice white coffee mug here for our hot buttered rum. It's a drink I love. It's decadent. It's got all the spices. It really is all the spices and everything nices. That's the Lebanese version of the phrase. We mess with that.
Matt's
So this is cool. So we've made a butter batter for this drink that we've pre-made ahead of time. Okay, so it has butter. You've got brown sugar, ground cinnamon, ground clove, and nutmeg as well, and butter. And then you mix that together, and then we add vanilla ice cream. So I've kept that aside, and I've got it in the freezer. So let me get that as well, and we'll put this drink together.
Sounds good. So this is a nice idea. This is so this drink, I was reading up, Matt had sent us the recipe ahead. And this particular drink, you can actually make like a big batch of it's the batter, I think it's called the batter that goes into the drink, and you can freeze it. Is that correct, Matt? If I read the recipe correct, you can make this batter up ahead, freeze it, and then just dollop it out when you're making it up.
Yeah, it's almost like you're repurposing the ice cream. You know, you jazzed it up with the butter and all the spices, and then you know, I've put it back in the ice cream.
Oh, good idea.
Right in the container.
Oh, that's
Brilliant.
Thank you, Nikki. All right, dear. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Okay. Right?
You know how efficient Nicole is. Hi, Nikki, if you're watching us tonight.
Love you,
Hi,
baby.
Ben, if you're watching.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to take, it's still a very soft consistency. We're not going to be perfect about stuff here, but you can do a full portion of these. You can do mini hot buttered rums in some very cute glasses, right?
Hot mini.
So we're going to take, yeah, it's not pretty, but we're going to go ahead and put in the batter of the butter. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and use 2 ounces of rum. This is Santa Teresa rum. You can use different types of rum, a nice Jamaican rum, a dark rum, gold rum. Different types of rum work really well with this, so it's kind of fun. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put 2 ounces there. And very nice. Okay.
Why the cup rather than a nice glass?
So I just like the idea of the frothy foam head here in a cup. It's very comfort food, like I'm going to be like wrapped up in my blanket watching Netflix or the fire's on and I've got my hand around the mug.
I was just thinking I would be hiding it from a Chris that I'm just drinking a coffee. But...
Yeah, well, that's why I did the hot toddy in the glass, right? That's why I did the hot toddy in the transparent glass. So we had one drink that we could see like that. And then we had another drink that we could just make and talk about because, guys, this is a decadent drink. A hot buttered rum has butter in it. Okay. Once again, different drinking trends. You're stressful during the holidays. These drinks help calm you down, relax you, especially with what's going on. You can make a version of this, a hot can of buttered rum, if that's of your persuasion as well, to relax you with some of the alcohol as well. But the beautiful part about this drink here, now that it's all stirred and ready to go, is I am going to go ahead. You want to grate some fresh nutmeg on top. But I've got cinnamon here, and I'm going to go ahead and grate some nice cinnamon. Beautiful. Okay. And
Was that cinnamon or nutmeg?
So that's a cinnamon. That's the cinnamon. So what do you got?
Oh, it looks good, Matt.
Look at beautiful.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
So we try with a little bit of a tilt screen, but
yeah,
there you go.
Very nice. And
Hot
Matt,
buttered rum.
you use all premium products, I'm thinking, eh? Oh, cheers. We don't have that, but we'll do a cheers to you.
So cheers, everybody. Happy
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
So-
John.
so-
Gotta try that one.
cheers. So hot butter, was that hot water you put in there? No, you put ice cream and then hot water.
Yes.
Well,
It's
He's
it's a
enjoying it.
batter.
He's not even focused on us.
I
He's
know,
just
I know.
enjoying it.
I'm having a moment. Having a
Matt,
moment, you guys.
What would happen if you put coffee in it?
Delicious. Be wonderful.
Oh, that's an idea.
Be wonderful. Because I was going to say, I mean, if you think about the base of this, you're basically taking a butter and putting different spices in it and vanilla ice cream. You could do a mint chocolate chip. You could do a chocolate
Oh, I like that.
ice
Ooh.
cream. How much fun could you have with this?
Oh, yeah.
So you can really change it out to a lot of different bases. Like,
yeah.
It's great. And then once again, once you're done already making the batter, you already have it made. So you just have a nice fun day. Maybe you're just having it. Maybe it's a date you're having, with your loved one, or you're making it yourself. Get it done. Get the butter batter in the box.
We're making it tomorrow.
That's it.
that's a
Chris,
good
Chris,
idea.
this is my hot buttered rum right here. You think I'm just drinking coffee, but no, it's not.
He snuck off and made it.
This, I got to tell you, this was a seamless rum. Sometimes I have a rum and the rum is just like, whoa, rum. But like this Santa Teresa, I figured this is sometimes I like to finish a bottle. I'll say,
Yeah.
okay, tonight we finish the bottle. We take a picture. We put it on the bar. We say goodbye. We have a thing.
The whole ritual.
I thought I would do that with the Santa Teresa with the rum, but I got to tell you, this is great with the hot buttered rum. And yes, and I like to use good products. Once again, New York Cocktail Expo doing this show has really helped me so many brands come in and out, hundreds of brands that I learn about from doing the expo, and then I start using them, and then I'm telling my bartender friends to use them, or people that love cocktails at home, and that's how things start to happen. So definitely being a part of New York Cocktail Expo has turned me on to all these great drinks and spirits, and especially the classes we're doing, the webinars.
Yeah, tell us about can you expand on the webinars and just let our viewers know how they can get onto one of your webinars and what you do and what they're all about. And what a great idea too, as an activity to do as a group, to get onto the webinars, right? And then test out those drinks that you practiced.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, that's exactly what I'm doing here as well. And we want to make it in a way that's not intimidating. I mean, making drinks is easy. I mean, certain drinks are more involved. But the webinars, literally, we have one called How to Make Cocktails.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're a beginner, we've got a great instructor. His name is Jonathan Pogash, the cocktail guru. He teaches you literally step by step how to make cocktails, how to stock your bar. If you like tropical cocktails, talking about wanting to escape those tropical drinks and feeling like you're on a vacation, we had a Tiki tropical cocktail class webinar instructed by best-selling author Shannon Mustafer, author of Tiki Modern Tropical Cocktails.
Wow.
Great classes. And then also just talking about holiday versions, holiday cocktails, making variations of old fashions, whiskey, and use maple syrup as the sweetener. Use a cinnamon syrup instead of just the sugar. Some walnut bitters. And we actually have a spirit competition called the Best Whiskey in the Old Fashioned. So this is going to be like an iconic, historic blind tasting with an industry judges panel tasting the same recipe of old fashions, mind you, with different whiskey expressions in it, made by the legendary bar Dutch Kills, and that's on December 1st. So if you like old fashions and whiskey and you want to see, that is going to be a great live stream on December 1st. You know, it's 2020. It's the centennial anniversary of the Prohibition, 1920. So that's what New York Cocktail Expo is commemorating with what we're calling New York Cocktail Expo Week, December 1st through the 7th. That's where you're going to find all those great webinars of cocktail education at nycocktailexpo.com. Plug.
Yes, and we've got it. I know, Chris, we're going to post the website, and we've already posted the webinar things. And you know, speaking of the what's interesting is that you're mentioning about the Prohibition. So a couple weeks back, our first nighttime show, we had Tish Harkis, who is the global brand ambassador for Canadian Club. And you know, Hiram Walker, right, was right here in Windsor, Ontario, the whiskey guru that started all that brand. And she is like a walking history book. Like, I mean, fascinating. We need to have you guys both on a show together.
Yeah.
Tish shared with us all the history behind it. It was so fascinating. But I would love to have you guys together on a show, because I mean, you would blow our minds with information and stuff. But and then Matt, for people to go on to your webinar, is there a fee for it, or
they're all free?
Wow.
What?
They're all free. They're all free registration. I mean, you'll take a few classes and all of a sudden you'd be like, whoa, I went through some portal literally, and I know how to make drinks now. It'll literally just 2 or 3 classes, you'll be blown away that you're making these cocktails. And
that's fantastic. And the website. So we did post earlier. I posted in there the webinar things, but if they want, sorry, Matt, can you just say your link again for the New York Cocktail Expo? Is it the same one I think that I posted? That
I just posted it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So
New York Cocktail Expo. I just posted your website.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Crystal. Yeah, nycocktailexpo.com /webinars, I think is.
Oh, okay.
Where those are, but just nycocktailexpo.com. You'll see what we're doing, and on Instagram at nycocktailexpo.
Excellent. And then Matt, now I know because of COVID, obviously the actual full-blown expo is not obviously going to happen like this. But can you tell us a little bit about what happens at your expo? So when we're back to normal, that we can all travel, and you know, I think we should all put together a trip to New York to go to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you tell us what happens at the expo, or what it's all about, and how?
I love this term, back to normal. I love this term.
What does that mean, right?
What does that mean? Our new normal, okay? Our new normal.
I already am so nostalgic for the 80s. Like back to normal. What is this going to mean in 2 or 3 years? I think that we're having a paradigm shift incrementally.
Yes.
You start to look back, especially with all the media that we have blasting at us nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
You start to have a hindsight perception that was some old way of life. Oh, how crazy was it that we all, clamored in together at these big concerts? How crazy was it that we all risked getting sick, going and being together? Like these things happen in culture, right? So you got to keep your eye out for those things. But I got to tell you, the old expo was a tasting, right?
Okay.
It was a big room. We had 2,000 people. 6-foot tables of spirit exhibitors and cocktail bars doing tastings of cocktail samples and spirit samples, all vying for best cocktail of the year and the best tropical cocktail of the year at the Tiki Throwdown. That's our show. So you're seeing cocktail trends. You're seeing the top cocktail bars showcasing their drinks and spirits. And it's just people going around doing tastings.
And then you also offer an educational portion, right, for industry pros, like to enhance their skills.
That's correct. So we had seminars, live seminars, classes. Now, one of the downfalls of that was there was usually a limit on the space in the classroom. We do 25, 45 people. But now, with webinars, I don't know. I think they're going really well. I think that we have 200, 300 over registrations. Even if they don't watch what's going on. They get back in touch. Can we watch this thing? You know, you're directly contacting and networking with people signing up for these webinars. But yeah, that's what we would do. So we would have bar education for cocktail enthusiasts and for industry, and we would do tastings and all sorts of competitions. But I'm not planning on going back to that format.
No. You have a new format.
We have a new format. Yes, it's a brand new format. Actually, we ran a cocktail festival on Long Island, the LI Cocktail Fest. Well, 2021, we're doing the LI Cocktail Tour. So attendees, instead of once again going into a giant room to go celebrate the idea that they love cocktail bars, we're just going to send them right to the cocktail bars. With their cocktail pass, they'll get a complimentary cocktail and a spirit tasting with a purchase of a food item. So the restaurants love it because they get 100% visitation, as opposed to a percentage of the visitation they had after doing a festival, which is still good, but now they get 100% visitation. So now you get to find all these great restaurants, like you get to find all these cool, awesome restaurants if you love going out, and you get a free drink at all of them. You're gonna, I mean, normally you pay what, $15, $20 for a cocktail?
Right.
If you get this thing for $35 and you go to 10, 20 bars, it's really going to help you out during a pandemic and saving money, but also helping the bar by visiting them, maybe probably going back, purchasing food. So this is a great new event experience that's COVID friendly. That's a strange term, but also helps the consumer, the ticket holder, and helps the restaurant. So
that's brilliant, Matt. That's a really
cocktail tour. Thank you.
Yeah, that is really brilliant. I mean, that's an excellent idea. And I know, even though we're not talking about other festivals, but you also do run another festival, which is the Chicken Wing Festival.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you want to tell us about that?
Yes. It's the New York Best Wings Festival. So we've been running the Wing Fest ever since 2013. And it's the same thing as the cocktails, but with chicken wings and beer. So how cool is that?
Oh, very cool.
All the best wing restaurants coming down. Everybody thinks they have the best wings. You got to eat them. You got to vote for them. There's hot wing eating competitions. It's a riot, you know, and it's great because, you know, wing fans are the coolest people. If you can hang out somewhere with sauce all over your face and still talk to people and get along, you're easygoing, you're cool. You're good people, you know. It's about bringing people together, right? You got to find something that brings people together.
Yeah.
Chicken wings do this, but also we're not going back to that format. We're doing a new thing. It's taking place right now in Queens, in my area here where I live. It's called the Great Queens Chicken Wing Hunt, and you get a pass. I don't have it on me; it's in my wallet somewhere. But you get a pass. And you go to all the best wing restaurants who are competing for the best wings. You get 4 free chicken wings. You vote online by posting their picture online. So now you're advertising the restaurant with a vote. So they get more business from that. And you go around finding the best chicken wing restaurants in town with your friends and having wings and beer.
That's awesome. That's brilliant, actually.
That's a great idea.
We're teaching people how to have the best wing crawls you can do. It's what I grew up doing. So I'm just going, hey, go have fun like I did. And you know, and it's great. It's something fun to do. It helps the restaurants. It helps the people. They save some money on the wings. And this is what it is, the Great Queens Chicken Wing Hunt and the New York Cocktail Tour. These are our new flagship events.
That's great, because people really have to be thinking about, you're right. We're not going to go back to what life used to be like. It's like, we don't really know what it's going to be like, but in the meantime, we're creating new experiences. And I think those are brilliant because people are wanting experiences. People want to get out, but they want to do it safely. Yeah. And that's great. Fantastic.
That is really good, Matt.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And you know, I think it's really wonderful because I know you're obviously one of the hardest hit areas was New York. So I think it's wonderful how you were able to just make that shift and yet, you know, keep the integrity of those events but create new experiences. So you know, hats off to you for doing that and supporting businesses and keeping your business going. So that's really that's pretty amazing because it's not been easy, right?
It's not been easy, guys, for nobody. And that's the thing. No. It's not easy for anybody right now. So, you know, come together on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, so when you were on before, and I know your apartment is set up as a speakeasy, and I know even when we spoke to Tish, so New Yorkers, you guys have speakeasy apartments. And if I remember correctly, somewhere along the way that you guys actually have a group that you move from a speakeasy like private places, and you do different drinks and something. Can you tell us about that? Because that sounds like a fun thing to do as well.
Well, now, I mean, gosh, we're in 2020.
Yeah.
It's like it's a new 20s. The cocktail parties are back. Speakeasies are back.
Yeah.
Doing things low key to not get in trouble are back. Anything living on the edge is rock and roll, guys. Speakeasies are rock and roll. So here in Queens, I mean, there's a few bartenders that have, this is pre-COVID, have hideaway bar apartments with
Ooh.
hundreds of bottles of booze. They're throwing cocktail parties with menus, craft cocktails, some of the best you can have, right?
Yeah.
And they're having these cocktail parties, same like they did in the old days. And there's a resurgence of this happening now because of the pandemic and everyone staying at home. More people making cocktails, more people saying, okay, we can only have 5 people here, let's have a cocktail party, you know, things like that. So this is a very cool experience. If you have a home
So do
bar,
people come to your place?
well, not in some time, especially since COVID. But when I first opened my bar, it's called the Easy Speak, because there's no TV in here, there's no TV, no media. So when you come in, you speak easy, you have a conversation, you have drinks, you have conversation, you have an experience. When I first opened it, I would turn on the light and I would start telling people in town, if the light is on outside, that means the bar is open.
Ah,
Huh.
I love it.
A red light district.
Not so
Very
much.
good.
Not so much.
God, you're on the wrong.
A white light, sorry, white light, a white light.
A bright white light. Yes.
Yeah.
Bright white light. That I like. That sounds good. And I did have some folks over when I first started. My life changed a bit, and I really didn't live that way anymore. But yeah, it's perfect setup for having 10 folks come in, and you know, cheese and meat plates and cocktails and music.
I love that. So, and we talked before on previous dinner shows, and we talked about, I think when Tish was on, was one of the things we talked about is because everything has changed. I'm going to, because as an event planner, I use an example. If your wedding, you can only have, let me see if I get this correct. I think it's changed so much. I think it's 50 inside, 25 outside. They don't want you dancing. They don't want you doing this. But what a great idea to do, like do something like a speakeasy, or have like a cocktail, like have like cocktail tastings or whiskey tastings, just to create that experience versus to kind of, because you can't do, like, say you can't dance. But what a neat thing to do, like to incorporate that and maybe make it like a dinner club kind of idea.
Yeah, you know what? There's necessity is the mother of invention, right?
Yes.
So you're going to see a lot of these cool ideas manifest based on our senses. What makes us exciting? The whole thing of a tiki drink that makes it so exciting is just the presentation alone. It's flair. There's palm trees, there's parasol umbrellas, and this taps you into your imagination.
Yes.
So I think we're going to be tapping into our imaginations a lot more.
Yes.
To our senses and creating new experiences that are still going to feel festive and like we're connected. Because remember, there is a strange phenomenon to the idea of why do you fall in love with one person, why you feel nothing for someone else, because we are connected. So we do have to tap into that network of consciousness, not to get too philosophical here. Maybe the hot buttered rum's hot buttered rum's kicking in. Woo! Stay with me, folks.
Hey, and then we have a relationship coach right here.
It's scientifically proven we're all connected, right? We're all connected. So with that in mind, there's going to be all these wonderful ways we still can connect, still celebrate, and most importantly, still have experiences or relationships and make memories together.
That's right.
Memories. It's creating the memories. So if there's any energy you can attach to and anchor to, you're creating that memory and that experience, and don't forget that. So there's still a way we can get together.
Exactly. And as we were talking about those drinks, I know, Crystal, we talked about in the summer, like doing something like that, like on an outdoor deck and getting together and doing some really cool, like doing the like tiki drinks and having like maybe a tiki hut or something, right? And doing it within your bubble and stuff, so that but creating different experiences that you can have. With I know we had Tish on, she talked about like we've had her on twice as well, but about pairing, She was telling us about how they pair a whiskey with a dinner serving, right? So the other thing we talked about, if you're doing a nice dinner, well, it doesn't have to be like a nice, but a dinner party, you could pair, instead of doing maybe a wine pairing, maybe one of those courses you do with a whiskey pairing. Is that something that you would suggest, or what would you recommend, Matt, for like if you were having a dinner party?
I love pairings.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yes, it's the greatest thing ever. I mean, like, I will sit down and I'll have like a nice rum with like green apples,
Ooh.
walnuts, some cheeses.
Oh, you're
just
making me
like,
hungry.
I will pick on that. Like, I'm Lebanese, right? And we
Yeah.
pick on different foods. We're like Italian. I'm Lebanese and Italian. So I like to pick,
Best of both worlds.
right? Come on, forget about it. So I like to pick.
Manja.
All right. For hours. We'll never stop. And that's the beauty of the holidays. This is a holiday thing. Now you're making me getting really nostalgic.
Well, I think that in our cultures, and I know Crystal's a phenomenal cook, or chef. I call her a chef. I don't even call her a cook. I call her, but in our cultures, right? And growing up, I think you grew up Lebanese at Italian. I grew up Italian. Crystal, and John, growing up, wasn't that a big part of socialization? It was like the food, the drink, the coming together as family and friends and stuff. That was kind of your entertainment. We really didn't go,
Absolutely.
or not us, we did, but see, our parents, they didn't really go out
Mm-mm.
to a bar or stuff. It was this gatherings and things. So it's
Yeah. Like we lived on the farm, and so we would put makeshift tables outside, and there'd be food, there'd be so much food, and Christmas there'd be so much food. I mean, I'm Ukrainian, and so there was all of this great food, homemade food.
Yes.
My grandmother had a wood stove and she cooked all this great food. So yeah, food.
I look back, we were
And drink, Chris.
And drink,
and
of
drink.
course.
We were watching, my mom had turned 90 last year, I think it was, and God bless her, she's in great health. But one of the things we had gotten these old films, like from the 50s and the 60s, and converted over so you could like run them on a normal thing. And what was so prevalent, I don't even know, is they were always gathered together, and they were, eating and drinking and laughing, and just, it was amazing to see that. And you don't really, of course, we wouldn't remember that because we were like little tot, like, but it was amazing. And then you realize this is really a big part of our culture and stuff. And maybe we've moved away from it, but I think COVID, I feel like it's brought us all back to these like family, like really enjoying family and close friends, right? And then enjoying really good food and drinks. And I mean, the whole culture of the cocktails, right? The craft cocktails and the craft beer and stuff, it's really huge. Like even just in our city, we have all kinds of craft breweries. We had, Matt, when you were on before, we had Walkerville Brewery, an amazing craft brewery. They just won an award, and I will apologize, I don't remember exact, but they just won a great award along with one of the other, I think it was Kingsville Brewery as well. But we have amazing craft brewers and craft cocktail places and stuff, and then of course like being home to Hiram Walker, right? So it's really fascinating. And that whole culture of food and drink and how it's really part of our backgrounds.
So Matt, a question about getting ready for the holidays, and I will take the course on how to make cocktails. But
yes, me too.
If I right now, just kind of like what is a basic list of supplies that I should have in my liquor cabinet? Just for some basic drinks.
Yeah. So let's go basic, right? So one thing that you want to get, which I recommend that you have, right, are the shaker tins. Okay, shaker tins. And another style here, this cobbler shaker here, which is have the top on it. You've seen this one before.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the single.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you want to have what's called a jigger. There's different styles. Very popular is a Japanese jigger, which I have some over there. Let me just grab real quick.
Okay.
You can see this different style. This is your measuring for the liquid. See?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
1 ounce. You got 2 ounces, and there are different measurements that you can see inside there.
Cool.
Okay, and you got strainers here, Hawthorne strainer you want to have as well. Okay.
What's that for?
So this is for straining the cocktail. This is sometimes you might have bits of juice. You might have things that you've muddled inside the drink. Certain types of
Okay.
strainers allow you to switch positions of the coil to pour 2 drinks at once, into 2 glasses at once, and things like that as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, that you want to have a bar spoon as well. You want to have a bar spoon, a nice bar spoon.
Is that those long ones, Matt?
Yeah. I have everything in front of me here. So these are some basic things that you want to have
Okay.
for making your drink, right? You're measuring the liquid into your shaker tins. And then of course, you're going to be adding ice to those tins, shaking it up. And you know what? It's not necessary, but yes, you can have, I have some items in mine right now, but you can have a mixing glass. So a mixing glass, okay? So here you're going to be, once again, pouring spirit in the mixing glass. And this is for nice stirred cocktails if you're making your Manhattan rosemary, right?
My favorite.
Okay. Cheers to you. Your old fashions, your Negronis, stirring your cocktail here. And then, of course, you can use a julep strainer. Some folks actually will use a strainer of this. And then you're straining your cocktail in that way, mixing glass. Yeah.
What a nice gift idea to put that together for somebody.
Yes, that's right, Rosemary. What a great idea for Christmas present.
Go to cocktailkingdom.com, gift them a pack of these bar tools, and send them the free links to the cocktail webinars.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
Perfectly set. It's going to update their whole lives.
I know who I'm going to get it for. That's fantastic. Besides me, I've got someone else besides me.
There you go.
Are you gonna have us over for drinks, Crystal?
Yeah, absolutely, Rosemary.
Okay. But holiday cocktails are the best. I'm excited. I love the flavors. I love all of the spices. I love all of the styles. I'm very excited about it. And I think if you're gonna enjoy the holiday season with this unique year, learn these cocktails. They really do spice things up, cheesy fun, but it's true,
It is, and you can discuss the cocktails, the taste, like if you're just like you're doing a wine tasting. This is so interesting, and the history. When Tish was on, Matt, she told us the history of the Manhattan.
Yeah. Okay.
Which was very interesting because it was in New York, in Manhattan. That's where it was created.
That's right.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool history.
In New York, of course, I'm obsessed with New York. As you probably know, my next life I'm gonna live there. But in Manhattan, you have some bars that are actually speakeasies, right?
So yeah, I mean, look, there's no shortage of speakeasies in New York City. No. Speaking generally, but they sort of trended downward a few years ago just because there had been an oversaturation of them.
Okay.
And then you saw like a new generation of cocktail bars doing just fusion stuff, traditional stuff, new wave stuff. I mean, it was just all still of the same brand and genre of craft.
Yes.
Speakeasy trends sort of became like, oh, another speakeasy. Yeah, that can happen. But I mean, they're still cool.
Oh yeah, because I mean that's really the core, the history of the cocktail, right? Is the speakeasy, and do you have? Tish was telling us that there was some like ones that are hidden ones, and that do you have like some hidden little?
Yeah. I mean, there you'll hear the stories of behind the phone booth, and there's a hot dog place, and you got to go behind this one, and all the cocktail bars they have these little stories. Yeah. Patent pending, there's a coffee shop, you go, oh, there's a coffee shop, but if you type in the right code, all of a sudden, beep, boop, 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 it spells their
that's so
bar,
cool.
and then it opens, and then you can, go in the speakeasy.
Next time I come to New York, I want to go to one of those or a few of them. Oh, God only knows when we can come again there. Across the border.
Super cool spots.
That's so fascinating, and just the history, like knowing the history of it, and then just the creativity that goes into doing it. And I love the idea, just doing the getting those tools and then adding the cocktail webinars. What a great gift idea!
Yeah. Yeah. It's And once again, it is the gift that keeps on giving. I'm so, it was intimidating to me before, this idea of like, oh, making drinks, like what's this? Whoa. But I mean, guys, really, you're pouring stuff into a tin, you're either shaking it or you're stirring it, a couple of tips here and there, you're making really good drinks.
Yes.
You're gonna go, wow. You're gonna have your favorite cocktails that you make. You're gonna want to show them off. You're gonna want to have cocktail parties. And honestly, like now with everything going on, yeah, put a new skill under your belt. Make these drinks. It's gonna make life more interesting and fun. You need something to do, but just drink.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly. I agree. I think that's what it is that we've got to find things to do to keep ourselves like, in a good place, and not, because we can obviously go in a bad place.
And you don't, like I said, you don't want to be responsible. I do have a brand, I do wellness cocktails, which is a education on health conscious cocktails.
That's right.
Once again, using natural sweeteners, making really, really good drinks that may have just a little bit of booze in them or no booze at all. The idea of boosting your immunity system is so popular right now, and being able to make drinks that do that are still really good drinks. Because the idea of something healthy in a glass is as old as time. And you can still take this, you can still do this type of drink that I'm showing you, these type of craft cocktails, and you can do healthy versions of that aren't boring or silly or whatever,
Yeah.
So
we have a couple comments from the audience before we wrap up. I can't believe we're almost up on the hour. Wow.
Are we?
Yeah.
I had a third drink. No.
So, Crystal, do you want to read them or do you want me to read them?
I just see that people are saying that they're awesome drinks to sit by the fire.
Yeah.
That I think is the hot toddy. And someone else says, Carmela says she likes this drink. Nikki gives you a little smile.
Hey, shout out to my cousin Carm and Franca. She's always watching our show. Thanks.
Oh, and Nikki, thank you for putting the correct website on. I wrote out New York, and it's nycocktailexpo.com. So she corrected that. So folks.
Thank you, Nikki, for doing that.
Correct. Yeah.
So we're coming up to Matt. This was so much fun. We love having you on it, and we loved having you back on again. And we will look forward to having you back. I think the next time I want to have you and Tish together. Tish, if you're watching tonight, let's make that happen, because you guys would be awesome together.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
We want to say thank you to everybody who's watching, and thank you for catching the replay. Please like and share it with everybody. All the information to get that we talked about tonight is posted in our site. Next week, we will have Jojo Coco Chocolate and Robert White, who is a wine sommelier, and he will be pairing wines with the chocolate. So these are all great holiday things to do. And I know Monday we have our show meeting. We're going to be meeting, and we're going to do a little tasting ahead of time with the chocolate that Crystal got a beautiful box of it in. But this was awesome, Matt. You know what? I think it's so nice, because hopefully we've inspired people to do this and to just kind of put a different spin on the holidays and make these drinks and just sit around and enjoy them with your, your family in your bubble. I always say just follow all the rules, and we want to all be safe. Matt, do you have anything that you'd like to say just closing out?
No, just thanks so much for watching, and have a happy holiday.
Thank you.
Do your thing.
Yes. Oops. I think. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you back next week. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.